Never do this when you go to test drive a car. My dad sold cars for 43 years. We're going to show you in this video all the ways he used to train his salespeople to take advantage of you, unfortunately, when you're out on that test drive. And he's going to make sure you know everything to say so that you don't lose any leverage.
That's right. I spent 43 years training salespeople on how to be able to get the most information from you on a test drive that they can. And now I'm going to show you how to, keep those cards close to your chest.
So, Dad, the customer comes in, they want to go for a test drive. How did you train your salespeople? What questions were they supposed to ask that customer?
Well, the first question they were supposed to ask the customer was you'd want to at least test drive a new car before you buy it, wouldn't you? And the reason for that is there's an old saying in the car business. I wish I was the one that had come up with it, but I wasn't. And the saying was, the feel of the wheel seals the deal. In other words, if you can't get the customer to drive the car, then you can't get them emotionally enough attached to it. So the salesperson's going to hit you with, you definitely want to take the vehicle out for a test drive, don't you?
So the test drive in many ways for the salesperson is just part of the sales process, because they know that once the customer has an emotional connection with the car, it's going to be an easier close. So, and I love how that question ends with wouldn't you or don't you? It's like leading them to the answer. Okay, so that's question number one you trained your salespeople on. That's before the test drive, getting them to the test drive. What's the salesperson's objective now that we've hopped in the car? What information are they trying to gather to help them get leverage for the negotiation?
They're trying to judge how much you like the vehicle, or if you like the vehicle. And that's why there's a couple things that they're going to ask you when you first come back from your test drive. The first thing they're going to say to you, hey, do me a favor, pull it over to the left to the sold area so we can park it there and nobody else can get their hands on the keys or look at the vehicle. Well, if you follow those directions, they're pretty sure they could be onto a deal here because you've already taken the lead. Now, as you're getting out of the car, the salesperson might ask you something like, you love the way this car drove, didn't you? You have to answer yes or no. If the answer is yes, then the salesperson is excited. If the answer is no, then the salesperson's next question is going to be to find out, what is it about it that you didn't like? What did you find disappointing about the car, so that the salesperson can narrow it down and figure out if perhaps there's a different car. If your answer was yes, I loved it, well, then the salesperson would ask you, the car's equipped the way you want your next car to be equipped, isn't it? I mean, it's got everything you want in your next car, doesn't it? And that again is the salesperson's looking for a yes or a no. If it's a yes, great. If it's a no, well, what are you missing that you have to have in your next car? And if the answer was yes, then they move on to the third question, which was the most important question. Assuming, sir or madam, that we can work all the details out to your satisfaction, you'd want to drive home in your new car today, wouldn't you? Well, if they say yes to that, they're pretty sure they're onto a car deal.
This is so fascinating, Dad. So the way you trained your salespeople and the way it sounds like the auto industry works is it's almost like theater. It's like, all right, we got to get the customer in the car. We got to get them emotionally connected to the car. Obviously, sell them on all the features and benefits while they're using them, make sure they're really excited, and then ask these set questions in this order to really help them convince themselves that this is the car that they want. And if the customer shows their hand, then that's going to make the negotiating leverage totally different than it could be if maybe the customer was a little more, neutral or not really letting on to the fact that they were interested, which is a bit of a shame because it's such a game that you have to play. But I mean, we're talking about a salesperson. If they have this leverage, maybe that's the difference of a couple $1,000s on the car deal.
Well, and the other thing is, if you are a good negotiator, and you really do like the car, and yes, if they could work all the numbers out to your satisfaction, you would take the car home today. You can actually let them know that. But the caveat with that is, but the numbers truly have to be to my satisfaction. And so we're going to need to work on the out the door numbers, because I have in my mind, from research that I've done, what I believe this vehicle should sell for, and I need to be near that number. So I need to get a complete breakdown, an out-the-door breakdown of that price. You're suggesting to the salesperson that yes, he can have a sale today, but he's also going to have to do some work in order to get it. You're not going to be what's referred to in the industry as a lay down or a flop. You're a sale, but you're a sale that's going to take some work.
Now, what should the customer be doing? You mentioned this idea of having a conversation with the car. So asking the salesperson to leave you alone so you can actually drive the car. But, don't go on local roads only, go on the highway. Do like a really thorough test drive, right? Like I don't want to trivialize it here, but there's like, someone shouldn't feel embarrassed or scared to really push the car when they're doing a test drive, should they?
How are you going to drive the car when you own the car, or if you own the car? Now, I'm not saying you can drive the car recklessly. You can't. If the speed limit is 45 miles an hour, you can't decide because it's a test drive that you're going to go down the road at 65 or 70. The cop's not going to care that you're on a test drive when he stops you. So you have to be respectful of speed limits and things like that. You can't be reckless. But truth of the matter is, if you're going to spend some time in stop and go traffic every day, then go drive some local roads that have a lot of traffic, so you can see if between the braking and the gas and the seats, is it comfortable enough for you. Take it out onto the highway and take it somewhere to a neighborhood where you'd actually maybe have to parallel park.
Yeah.
See how it feels when you're trying to parallel park with the vehicle. I mean, literally test drive the vehicle the way you would normally drive a vehicle on any given day. That's the conversation you're trying to have with the car. And if the car is saying to you, I don't like to go that fast, or I couldn't go that fast even if I wanted to go that fast, then you might be thinking to yourself, I could be on the wrong car. But it's better to figure that out during the test drive than, I don't know, during the first month of ownership after you've signed all the papers.
Now, something specific for 2026, some of you out there, especially for new cars like Toyota RAV4s, the 2026 ones, for example, they're on like 3-4 month back order right now. So you might not even be able to test drive certain vehicles. So that's something to watch out for if you're watching this video and you're thinking about going to the dealership to get a test drive done. And you don't want to let go of all that leverage you have in the negotiation. Just know there are certain vehicles in such short supply right now that they're wait list only. And so you won't even be able to test drive them. I think generally, Dad, I'll speak for myself, but I'm curious your take here. My recommendation, go find a car you can test drive. There are plenty of other options out there that are comparable. You're looking at the RAV4, the 2026 RAV4, look at the Mazda equivalent, the Honda equivalent, go test drive them, go get excited and comfortable with them versus just blindly, putting your name on a list and purchasing a vehicle.
Yeah, it's tough if you're on a RAV4 and they say to you it's going to be 4 months, give us $500, so we'll put your name on the list. And then 4 months later, a vehicle comes in with your name on it, and you test drive it, and you find out, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to start the process all over again. So I don't know, rather than starting that process all over again, start that process 4 months ago. When you were thinking about the RAV4 that you couldn't test drive, go test drive that Mazda CX-50 hybrid, or go test drive one of the Honda hybrids, or a Subaru, whatever it is. But go test drive them so that you can determine, what, I think I like the Mazda, or I think I like the Honda. Why do I have to wait? So you have to be flexible in 2026.